Hi, everybody. It's 10 o'clock on World Card Making Day, and this is the first video of a series of three to celebrate World Card Making Day. It's October the 4th, I guess. Yeah, October 4th. And it's World Card Making Day, so I thought I would do three videos. So the first video is some puzzle cards. Now, these are kits that are in the store and online. And I'm just going to show you. I'm going to do three of them. I don't have samples because the samples are obviously in the store. So a lot of times you get paper, 12 by 12 paper, that has a design on the left side and the right side, or it's along the bottom, but it's not overall on the page, on the paper. So it's just a select image or pattern on the left side or the right side. And I'm showing how I did these cards using that type of paper. So what I did was I selected what I wanted to use, and I'll show you what I did. Alrighty. So this is 49th and Market paper. Now this is going to be a 3-panel, a puzzle card. So I don't have a cutter here because I'm in Fredericton and I didn't bring my cutter. So I'm going to be using a pencil, a ruler, and scissors. But of course you just use your paper trimmer. So this is the area of the paper that I selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my paper into portrait, and that's the way you would put it on your cutter. And then I am going to, okay, just a sec here. I'm going to cut it at 3 3/8. So I'm going to get 3 panels out of this at 3 3/8. So you would cut this on your paper trimmer. And then I'm going to cut along those lines. So this was in portrait. And then in landscape, so they're all in order. You put them in the order. And then in this position, in landscape, I'm going to cut them at 2 inches, 2 3/4 inches, and 3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to cut them at 3 inches. And this one is in half. And this one is at 2. Okay, so there's my papers. It's like a little puzzle. All right, I probably should have done this part first. So this piece is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2, and I've scored it at 1, 2 on both sides. So 1, 2, 8 1/2, and 7 1/2. And I'm going to do a mountain fold and a valley fold on both sides, so it accordion folds like so. And then I've cut pieces. There's two pieces that are 1 3/8 by 2. There's two pieces that are 1 3/8 by 2 3/4. And there's a piece that's two pieces that are 1 3/8 by 3 1/2. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to start with the smallest one. And I'm going to glue it. I'm going to put glue all down this left side. You can put tape, glue, whatever. Good morning, Maureen. I'm going to take the smallest one and put it at the top. And then I'm going to take the next size and put it in the middle. And then the largest size I'm going to put here. So again, these are kits. Okay, and then I'm going to put glue all on here. And I'm going to do opposite. I'm going to put the largest one up here, and then the middle size one here, and the smallest one down here. So it's opposite. So when it closes, it's like a puzzle. See that? And then it opens like that. So now these are in the order. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it onto this first section. I might have taken the wrong one here. I think I did. So you're just going to trim this to fit. Okay, so I'm just trimming that to fit. You have to trim a little bit off. And then this one, I think what I did was, oh well. So let me see something. I went and took the wrong piece of paper, I think. No, that's okay. So I'm just going to put this on. And then the next one. And then the large one. I have to correct those. There we go. And this one. And then it's like a puzzle. You see that? And you can see where they all coordinate. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put this one on the inside. And you can just write a little personal message on this. Right in here. And then I have my sentiment. Happy birthday. Let me put it up here. And there's my first puzzle card. And then you just write on here. I'm going to have to check those measurements there. And I'll let you know. All right? So there's card number 1. Card number 2 is the same idea. What's this one? And this one, so this one is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2, but these are cut at, let me see here. So this is a 2-panel puzzle card. And there's 2 white pieces that are cut at 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. And then there's 2 puzzle pieces that are cut at 2 1/8 and 3 1/4. All right? So you do the same thing. You put glue on here and put the smallest one here. And then the larger one down here. Okay. So when you put this across, it's 2 1/4 by 2 1/8, and the larger one is 3 1/4 by 2 1/8. All right. So then on this side, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm putting this one up here. So this is 2 1/8 by 3 1/4, and then this one is 2 1/8 by 2 1/4. So it is a 4-panel puzzle card. See that? Okay. And then you would cut this is 3 3/4 by 5. Let's have a look at this. This is by 4. I would just have to check something here. I had an extra piece of paper here. I don't know where it went. So then you would cut your paper to fit on these squares. All right? So this one would be three and 2. So let's just, I'm looking for my other piece of paper here. I think this one is too small. 4, 3.5. Alrighty. So then you're going to cut a piece that's 5. You have to make do by 3 3/4. All right, so 5 by 3 3/4. And then this one in portrait is cut in half at 1 7/8. Okay, so we'll cut that in half at 1 7/8. Much easier with a paper trimmer, but we make do. And then in landscape, this one is cut at 2 inches. And this one is cut at 3 inches. Alrighty. So now I'm going to glue this one on here and the 3 on here. All right, and then I'm going to glue my 3 on here and my 2 on here. All right, so there is my puzzle card. And then I have my little Age to Perfection. So there we go. There's another puzzle card. Yes, this is recorded. All right, and the last card is a little different. These are all kits that you can purchase. So this one is a standard card, top fold card, and then you're going to cut 3 pieces of paper, and these papers are 1 by 7. All right, so the first one is 1 by 7, and you're going to score it at 1 3/4 and 1 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 1/4. All right, so this one is 1 3/4 by 7, and then you're going to cut 2 of them at 1 by 7, and you're going to score it at 3/4, 1 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 1/4, and you're going to do that on both of them. So you end up with 3 strips This strip is 1 3/4 by 7, and these two are 1 by 7. All right. And then I am going to fold them on the score lines. So the first one is a valley fold, and then a mountain fold. And this is a valley fold and a mountain fold. Okay? So a valley fold, mountain fold, mountain fold, valley fold. Valley fold, mountain fold, mountain fold, valley fold. Okay? So now I'm going to bring my card in. My card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to put these on. So I'm just applying glue on this 3/4 inch section at the end. And at the top, flush with the top, I'm going to just attach those sections, those side sections. All right? And then I'm going to put the bottom one on, or you can put the middle, whatever you want, and do the same, flush with the bottom. Like so. And then the middle one is the larger one. And we'll just slide that in. You're leaving about not quite 1/4 inch. All right, so now it looks like that. Now that will push to the side for mailing. Okay, so it just pushes over to the side. Alrighty. Okay, so now I have a piece that's 3 3 3/4 by 3. And in the landscape position, I am going to measure 3/4 inch. So I've got 3/4 inch here. And I'm also going to measure 3/4 inch at the top. Okay? Again, it's much easier with a paper trimmer. But I didn't want to bring that on the plane and then have them confiscate it. Okay, so I'm just going to do my 3/4, and then I'm going to trim that. Alrighty. And cut that very straight. Alright, I'm going to bring my knife back. And put these in order. So they go like this. And this. So we'll glue those on. Such a pretty card. But it's a great way to use your 12 by 12 paper that does not have an overall design. And then you can use the other parts of the paper for the backgrounds or for personal message. Okay, and then on the inside here, that is going to be, let me see here, 3 3/4 by 4. So we'll cut this 3 3/4 by 4. That's 4. 3 3/4 is right there. Oops. And we'll slide that in. It's 3 3/4 by 4. Fits perfectly in there. There we go. And then I have these 2 little pieces. And I'm going to put, these are 4 by 1/2. And they're just going to go right here. All right, and then we have our sentiment to a very special person. And I think I'll put it right here. And there's our card. So this folds flat for mailing. And there we go. And then of course it opens up like a regular card. So there we have it. Okay, so there we have puzzle cards. And like I said, I will double check on my measurements. So these are kits and they're available in the store or online. I'll put links up in the description. Next up is this box card. There's little boxes in there, little pop-up. Just gonna raise this up. So it looks like this, and then it pops up. All right, and in, I put little shakers in there. I don't know if you can see them, but there's little leaves in there. See them? But you could put pictures, you could put whatever. And then on the back, put your personal message. Okay, so that's up at 2 o'clock, or no, at noon. And then you can see how this pops up. It's quite a cool card. And then at 2 o'clock, I'm going to do this Christmas one with the inside pop-up. All right, so there we go. Thanks for joining me. And I will see you at noon. Bye-bye.